WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru.
Okay, now there's a debate now, and this is where we can go into like Q&A sort of debate thing. But the first thing is, does Sikhi change then? Does it evolve? Does it evolve or does it change? Is it significantly different? Or has it evolved? What do you guys think? Maybe think, oh, I don't know, man, this just sounds very different. A lot of unconvinced people here. You know, in Southall we had 30 people turning out every week, and it was the same crew. There was like a bit of a vibe. Over here we don't know who's turning up. But I mean, how many people, like just roughly, because you're not on camera, how many people roughly would say go with evolve? Wow. Anybody go with I'm not so sure? No? Alright. Okay. Cool. Firstly, obviously I think that it did evolve. But then in many ways, you can see it evolving with every guru. You know? Guru Amar Das Ji Maharaj making up all the manjis and the spreading of Sikhi. That's a bit of evolution. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj doesn't write Bani in Gurmukhi Lipi, but then Guru Angad Dev Ji makes Gurmukhi Lipi. Okay, so that's a bit of evolution as well, right? Then, you know, this whole building of cities, you know, like Amritsar, Kiratpur Sahib. Then, but the thing is that what's still happening that's consistent? Let's look at the evolution. How much has actually evolved? Yes, there's a Akal Sena, but in terms of a normal Sikh, and I would say normal Sikh, yeah, I mean a Sikh who's following Sikhi. I don't mean the normal Sikh nowadays, who, like, if I was say 21 years old like myself, a normal Sikh doesn't know much about Bani or anything, yeah. But what is a normal Sikh at that time of Guru still do? Their nitname, yeah. Still wake up in the morning and they still have to do Ishnan, read their part, okay. Then they still have to in the evening Rara Sahib Kirtan Katha. And what are they doing Katha Kirtan of? Ad Granth, right? Most of us nowadays aren't exactly Dasam Bani experts, yeah. Although those people that like to argue like to think of themselves as, yeah. But majority of us are lucky if we get to read, you know, 3 or 4 Banis a day from, you know, Guru Granth Sahib Ji. And most of us, people are still doing that back then. And Naam Japna. So Sikh is still the same. All that's happened is the Guru Sahib is taking sort of like a step to establish their, just fortify that kind of political angle. That they're not going to get rolled over now by the Mughal kingdom. They are going to have an army. If somebody steps onto their path to kind of push them aside, then they're not going to get pushed aside. Okay? So there's a bit of a solidification of the Sikh doctrine. And it is here, remember, it's always here to change the world. We're never going to change the world by being the pacifist types. Because those people, you know, they tried it all the time, you know, that put the flower in the gun, but when that gun fires a bullet back at you, then what? You got to have, you know, meaty peedy. So, that's my view, that it was just a logical step in its evolution. Okay. So here's another question. There's a lot of questions up there. Would it be appropriate for someone who's very spiritual? Yeah. Is that appropriate for a spiritual leader to be wealthy and armed? You know, that's what that guy, you know, Ram Das Samrat was asking Guru Sahib. You know, and I guess in a way the question is, the next one follows is, if there was a Sikh kingdom, right? Would the Prime Minister of that Sikh kingdom, the Jathedar, would he be expected to sort of, you know, welcome sort of, you know, if let's say the head of Germany comes over, or, you know, somebody comes over to visit the Prime Minister of the Khalsa Raj, would he be said to meet them in the 3-bed semi? Or do we give him like a sort of like a presidential palace, you know? Not that he would be expected to sort of live it up, but even just on a worldly stage, would we expect him to live like the rest of us? Or maybe give him that kind of place that befits his position, you know? Because at a political level, you can't live in that way. Do you know what I mean? Because it just doesn't suit, doesn't give you kind of, it doesn't really befit your position as a king. If you're trying to say now we are Miri Piri de Malik, you can't really live in that same way. You know what I mean? And again, how does one actually fight oppression? Can you do it unarmed? These are kind of the, you know, the Buddhist people. They, you know, they tried to do this, didn't they, in many ways. But what happened to the Tibetan pacifist people? They're sort of burning themselves in Delhi, aren't they, in a place like that, sitting there self-immolating themselves. Is that really the way to kind of stop evil? Just sit there burning? I mean, no one seems to care. That's like, go on. Man, I asked this question of my little one all the time. I was kind of depressing him. I said to him, who do you think should go in and stop it? And he would say the Khalsa. I said, and there is no Khalsa army. And there is no Khalsa army, is there? Yeah.
What I would say is that is their choice. Perhaps it is not for us to judge how they decide to fight their battles. And perhaps if the Guru were here today, he would not be so quick to judge that killing yourself is worse than killing somebody else.
No, that's not our judging the Buddhist monks. You misunderstand the point. The point is that if somebody finds life so hard that they prefer to burn themselves in public, it's not burning themselves in their room. It's not Atam Hatya somewhere. It's a political statement, isn't it? Yeah, it's the statement of somebody who doesn't take on the right. They want to shame the oppressor, right? That's the point of it, isn't it? It's a bit like the Satyagrahis that are walking around and getting beaten by sticks. They're trying to shame the British into seeing what their actions are being. They're trying to portray themselves as being the helpers of India, and yet here they are stopping normal person from making salt. That was the idea, wasn't it? However, it's not judging somebody, I'm judging the Khalsa here. I'm not judging the Buddhist monk. I'm saying, where is the Khalsa who's supposed to protect the rights of that person? When our Guru Amar Das is called Ne Manya Ke Man, Ne Tanya Ke Tan, Ne Otya Ke Ot, what does that mean? Ne Tanya Ke Tan, those that have no strength, the Khalsa is their strength. Ne Otya Ke Ot, those that have no person to turn to, the Khalsa is supposed to be the person that they turn to. This is our job. So where is the Khalsa then? Yeah. Huh? Riyog, yeah. I don't know if it's Riyog, it's like 9 to 5, it's like working 9 to 5, innit? That's what we're doing. There is no Khalsa army because a Khalsa is no longer an army. Yeah. It's sort of like a territorial army, but not training either. It's like the untrained territorial army. It's what in the army where they don't have much. If you're I was in the army for 4 years. If you didn't know, yeah. So when you're in the army, you always make the fun of the territorial army. They're just like civvies, civilians, kind of pretending to be soldiers. But in many ways, you could look at the Khalsa nowadays. The weekend Bana and Kirpan, yeah, and then on the weekday, there's none of that. There's no fighting for oppression. No fighting is. But the question is, can oppression actually be stopped? Let's say, leaving the judging of other people aside, but on a global level, do we actually expect to solve this world's problems without using physical force? Can we actually do it? How many people think that you could do it without using any force? Practically, not just theoretically, but practically. No, without using any force. So you think we can do it without any force?
I think so, yeah. If we had a Khalsa army,
Yeah.
who were aware of the Khalsa army, they would feel we wouldn't need to step in because they would already be afraid of us.
Yeah, but you could never bring that fear to bear until at the very first you've taken out somebody. Because it's like, unless you had a nuclear weapon in your hands.
Could you not do it for a political path?
So who thinks politics works to stop what's happening in Syria then? How many people are...
But they're not following the Sikhi way, are they?
Sorry?
They're not putting a Sikhi point of view out there.
Who isn't? Who is not following the Sikhi? What do you mean?
I mean politics today.
No, politics today is not following Sikhi, but let's just forget that politicians we don't care about politicians. What we care about is, this is our responsibility from God. The Khalsa has been given a responsibility from God. Ki Khalsa Akal Purakh ki Fauj. Those are the words of Guru Gobind Singh. You are God's army. And what's it here to do? To serve the world, yeah? And save the people. Deg, Deg, Fateh. All over the world, we should be serving people food, those who are hungry, serving them with medicine or whatever. And then also all over the world, we should be actually providing them with freedom and liberation from injustice and oppression. So can we do that? Can we do that without using force?
I don't think it can be, because the size of you can do it in your own way, individually, as a Khalsa or a person, as a Sikh, in your day-to-day life.
Yeah.
Right? You can still do that, helping other people or whatever if you see injustice. But as a collective, as a society, as a Khalsa society, an army, we don't have an army.
Yeah.
So you have to start at the basics, which is in your day-to-day, yeah? And then other people will see, okay, Sikhs have this reputation, they will step up and whatever. Yeah, you're generating that. So, you know, you can't have it just...
No, but we're talking theoretically. Because people are saying that, you know, practically, but also thinking practically, can this world's problems be solved without a kind of armed Khalsa army? I mean, for me, the solution is a Khalsa, because a Khalsa is armed. Like, for example, the UN, yeah? Does the UN have an army called the UN Army? No. What do? They borrow soldiers, don't they? And do they borrow them from the best armies in the world? No. They borrow them from the cheapest armies in the world, yeah? So America would then give aid to India to send Indian soldiers on UN missions, because they don't want to send American soldiers to Africa who get shot up. So what happens is that soldiers from India and Pakistan end up in Zambia and places like, you know, in the Sierra Leone, trying to stop things. But what happens is they end up actually committing more atrocities out there. Yeah?
Who actually decides where to fight? It's the politicians, isn't it?
Which politicians?
Well, politicians of powerful governments.
Yeah.
So, for instance, UK government, American
You've
government.
hit the nail on the head. The Khalsa has not got no army, it's got no government, it's got no power.
But then
That's the problem.
So when the
Shouldn't
military
the Khalsa take some responsibility in issuing guidance?
Sorry, who? The
Sorry,
Whi-
I told you.
which Akal Takht?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they can,
Is it functioning though, Akal Takht?
if they can give hukamnamas about not having the Guruji
Yeah.
have the alcohol, surely it'd be better to direct our mind to something
Good.
like this.
Yeah. Why does the Akal Takht not ever offer an opinion of what's happening in Syria? Why does it not offer an opinion of what's happening in the world? Why is the only opinion it can come out with is, don't put Guru Granth Sahib Ji in the house with alcohol?
Political power.
Yeah. And it's run by? It's run by the Indian government, isn't it? It's run by the Indian government. Come on, I don't know if you're aware of this. Like, it's not run by Sikhs, it's run by the Indian government.
It's run by puppets,
Yeah. Just like Manmohan Singh is now. If you're in India, you're going to put your phone onto silent mode. What do they call that now? What's the nickname for it? Manmohan Singh mode. Did you know that? Go and ask your mates in Delhi or ask them on Facebook. Manmohan Singh mode is putting your phone on silent. So you've got a puppet prime minister, and then you've also got a complete hijacking of the Sikh leadership. We haven't got the kind of Ranjit Singhs of 1986 who were standing up against India and saying what was happening. Now it's just head down and make sure you get through, right? And then you get a nice position somewhere. You're all bought out. So we're not in charge of our own politics. That's why, Benji, that's your answer to the Akal Takht. The reason the Akal Takht is totally ineffectual is not run by Sikhs anymore. Not the kind of Sikhs that used to run it. Not Akali Fulla Singh types that could call Ranjit Singh down and say, oi, what are you doing? Akali Fulla Singh ordered a hukamnama that no Sikh is meant to talk to Raja Ranjit Singh. And no Sikh talked to him the next day. His own servants wouldn't speak to him.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault is it? What do you mean?
Whose fault is it that it's run like that now?
We're looking at all of us, man. all of us fault, isn't it?
Not true followers of Sikhism, corrupt individuals.
Yeah, corrupt individuals but it's not. You can't blame corrupt individuals. You only blame ourselves, isn't it?
I think you can actually, because for me, the example of Guru Hargobind was that self-defense. So you can only stop oppression by defending yourself, right? But it doesn't mean you have to carry on attacking them. And then the other things that he did was, preach equality and forgiveness. So forgiving Jahingo, and also be equal. Building a mosque for those people. So I think until the majority mindset of people change, you will always have that oppression battle. So the only way you can do that is individually build those qualities of equality and forgiveness and so forth until most of society is like that, and then you can maybe stop oppression. If you always have a majority force that doesn't believe in this concept of equality or justice, then you always have this problem.
But I mean,
that to me is what Halemi Raj is actually, the individual sort of.
I think
enlightenment.
at individual level you're right, but at the Panthik level, You know, somebody somewhere is going to have to stand up and do something against some of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
And that will not happen by just us saying, oh, it's all very well for us to be, you know, let's just be nice to our neighbours and it will all solve itself. That's what effectively the way it comes down to is, let's be nice to the people around us and things will just get better one day. But reality is that we are part of a political system which governments take part, and we have no seat on any table. The Sikh perspective is not heard anywhere. There's no government in the world that pays any heed to the Guru. Is there? Is there any part of this world where the Guru's message is heard or their mat is sought by anybody in power?
I would say that the individuals who believe in the Guru carry enough conviction in their hearts.
No, it's not that. I'm saying in real politic in this world, are any decisions shaped by, with regard to Gurmat?
There must be some values of the Guru that live on in the hearts of his followers who are politically active. Maybe not very obtrusively, maybe not a very visibly Sikh representation, but surely I think his message itself is quite palpable.
I think it goes back to your original point that it's evolved. And, you know, the way certain politicians who may know about the Sikh faith or have grown up in the Sikh faith, they practice what they can in the parameters that they're facing.
But that's the problem though, you're picking and choosing what you want to follow. You're not actually putting the full force of it into...
But you're talking about an individual.
Yeah. We're again talking at individual level. That's what it comes down to. That as a society, the Sikhs have not really got the act together. Yeah, we're nobody. In politics, we're nobody. Right? And when you're somebody, that means you get a seat at the table and your opinion gets heard. Yeah, that's just reality, isn't it? Right? We're not really organised ourselves. Although we say we're the 5th largest religion in the world, in terms of our political power, we're not at any table. Okay? Giving a perspective. Okay, another thing is, I guess that's what I'm trying to say is, if Guru Sahib is here to change the world, which is what I believe that Maharaj, you know, it's what Bani is telling us. Maharaj Kal Taran Guru Nanak Aaye, they've come to change the world. Then Guru Hargobind Sahib taking these steps was an essential part of that evolution, that it had to happen that way. Otherwise we would still be oppressed and, you know, the Sikhs at that time.
Was it definitely politically motivated, or was it to defend the Sikhs, you know, against, you know, events like, you know, Guru Arjan Dev Ji being martyred again?
Well, it's that two-sword principle, isn't it? It's not enough to just have one sword to defend yourself. You have to have the other sword to kind of defend others. Sikhism would be spiritually a stale religion if all we did is defend ourselves. See, our ardas is built around Sarbat da Pala. We can't do an ardas Sarbat da Pala and say, oh, Pala of the Sikhs. That religion is not the religion of Guru Nanak. The religion of Guru Nanak is defend yourself and defend others. Just like Vand Ke Shakna, when Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji could have come out of Gwalior, thanks very much, I'm out, go back to, but they didn't. They freed everybody else as well. So you have to bear that in mind, that spiritually, a Sikh spirituality starts to die the moment a Sikh becomes inward facing and takes things for themselves, they don't give to anybody else. Yeah, it's about Vand Ke Shakna, of Bani, of equality, of freedom. All these things are all Vand Ke Shakna, and food as well. We start becoming, oh, it's alright, as long as we're free, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's not Sikhi then. Yeah, it loses that Uttam Panth. That's what it is, Uttam Panth Sunyo Guru Sangat. You know, it is that high, Khanyo Tikhi Walo Nikhi way, is that sharp as a, and sharper than a sword's edge, thinner than a hair. It has to be that way, it can't go away from there. So this is the key thing that we must bring back into our life. It is that high, and we have to aim that high. We can't just aim that as long as the Sikhs are alright, that'll be enough. This principle of Maharaj is bringing upon us on this world has to spread everywhere. Okay. Now when people say about the hunting, right, I'm just talking it from a practical point of view, because these are the things that people bring up, how can Guru Sahib go hunting? Can a soldier actually live in that way, that never kill anybody, never fire any bullets, never sort of see bloodshed or hardship, or kind of go through that kind of blood and gore, and still be like an effective fighting machine? They take a certain kind of person who's able to cope with that blood, you know, having to be able to put, you know, a bayonet into somebody else, or the equivalent of a bayonet, you know, a qatar into somebody who's never ever actually, you know, shot an arrow or hit anything that was moving. Do you think it's possible?
I think it's a soldier's mindset. soldier acts out of killing to kill for a certain
Bloodlust or something.
bloodlust,
Yeah.
then that's wrong.
Yeah.
For me, the Gurus, they didn't do it for bloodlust,
Yeah.
nor did the
This-
Khalsa God Center.
Yeah.
They did it for a certain reason. For me, what my Guru touched, they were mocked.
Yeah.
He made them mocked.
But here's a question: is people say, "Oh, well, Maharaj, killed a deer." Okay, there's two ways of seeing this now. As my perspective, I'm just offering something. Maharaj shoots a deer dies. We think, oh, don't we? Most of us, apart from the ones that are like, yeah. Most of us thinking, oh, poor deer, got shot, died. Now, I want you to just flip your perspective for a second. You're now the deer. You could die in a number of ways. You could die, by a tiger, you could die. But now, you get shot by an arrow of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji, the king of the world, Akal Purukh's own light. Just saying. I'd choose that death over any other death as a deer. You got to think of it. My perspective is that. My perspective is, look at it from the animal's point of view. Yeah, it's offering its life to the Khalsa, to the Akal Purukh ki Fauj. Yeah.
The story
didn't
was
offer
always
its life.
Huh?
It didn't offer its life.
Well, everything happens by hukum, isn't it? But that's his
Okay,
that's his
by
Vade
that-
Pag.
but by that
That's his
reasoning-
Vade
By
Pag.
that reasoning, you can answer a whole lot of these questions, and it doesn't matter what we say.
No, but I mean, my point is, look at it from the animal's point of view.
You said it offered up its life. It didn't offer.
Okay, it didn't offer it its life. You can say it in that way, but
That was my point.
that's how what happened to it. Of all the things that could happen to it, that's what happened to it.
Could you still use that example today?
Which way?
Like,
Like the Nihang Singhs going hunting or something.
can't, can you?
Singhs still go hunting now.
What's the
Do the deer still think along the same lines of
I don't know about I mean, I can only speculate. But the thing is where is the Khalsa as well? The second side of it, isn't it? It's hard to see the Khalsa anyway nowadays. I think when we see the Khalsa walk upon this planet, when the Khalsa steps up to its job, there'll be hundreds of people join the Khalsa, thousands of people join the Khalsa. Because they'll be like, I want to join that army. Who are they? We haven't even seen it really. We're just talking about it theoretically. And we're reading about it in history. We haven't actually seen the Khalsa now. Imagine, like, I mean, just, okay, I'll give you a second. Just imagine, close your eyes for a second. Yeah? News report comes on the TV. Right? Today in Sudan, the Janjaweed, have killed 2 villages of people. They shot them without any kind of sympathy. So the Khalsa forces have now dispatched, 2 helicopter gunships. Right? We're expecting tomorrow to destroy those Janjaweed. Yeah, and then 2 more airplanes worth of food are gone over, and there's going to be langar set up tomorrow in Sudan. And this is done by the Khalsa army. Yeah. Just imagine that statement coming over the BBC newsreels, yeah?
It'd be followed by, vigilantes, That's what we've been seeing now.
No, why are we saying that there can't be a legitimate government called the Khalsa army, Khalsa government, who can actually do this legitimately? America does it, doesn't it? If America wants to do something, they go and do it. You could hear the same statement made about the US government has intervened and sent 2 helicopter gunships. It's going to slot those, but the US government is not going to do it. Because those little people in that village in Sudan matter nothing to America. No oil there. Yeah? But the Panth that believes Sarbat Apala could do it. And legitimately as well.
A lot of countries work in interest. So any political society would work in its interest. Would the Khalsa work in its own interest then? And if it would not work in its own interest, how would it survive?
That's a good question. The only answer to that is what's Maharaj done. The Khalsa army works for Sarbat Apala. Otherwise it can't be the Khalsa army. It can't say we work for the Sikh interests abroad. We must say we must work for Sarbat da Pala interest abroad. So that's the first step. That's the only way it can actually be the Khalsa. Now if it is actually the Khalsa, it would then invoke the greatest power upon earth, Guru Sahib's Kirpa. And the Khalsa will not go, if it does its job, then Maharaj gives the promise, innit? Jab lag Khalsa rehe niyara, tab lag tej diyu main sara. As long as the Khalsa remains distinct, follows Guru Sahib's hukum, then all of Guru Gobind Singh Ji's power will be behind it.
You said it.
That's it.
What the state of affairs is.
Yeah. We're not doing what Maharaj said. If you want to watch more about this, you can watch that video, which is called Wake Up Call, Hard Hitting Katha. It's on the YouTube channel.
Do you have to link Allah to an army?
It's Deg.
Interesting question actually. Would Sarbat Pala always mean with an army, or could it be a non-army, non-martial based solution where
We have to take, yeah.
focus on education or poverty or women's welfare, environment perhaps, and not necessarily on a military solution?
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. We have to take those two statements that Maharaj said, Deg, Fateh. You know that, right? Deg means the sword. Sorry, Deg means langar. Yeah, langar, prasad, so medicine, everything that would be given out to somebody. So that the Maslow hierarchy, the first basic needs of people are, food, medicine, education, those kinds of things. Yeah, the second, and then also at the same time is freedom from oppression, ability to take part in their own future. These are the kind of things that people want and need. So that's where Deg comes in. Political freedom and physical freedom to live, to eat, to have shelter, to have medicine, education. So that's why I think, so it's like the Paikanaya solution, You got on the one side soldiers fighting, at the same time Guru Gobind Singh is sending out people who are doing seva. So going back to the same, that a woman wants either a warrior or a sevak or a bhagat. Yeah? These are the things that make Sikhi. We need all three. We can't just have a panth full of just soldiers. Then who would do the bhakti and who would do the seva? You need all three. And the ideal would be that somebody can do all those three, but naturally people are going to get attracted to one more than the other. So it's about working in unison with those three forces together. Hanji Baji.
So the aim is to obviously Sarbat Pala, but if that's achieved, or once it's achieved, would that not bring Satyaj back?
Yeah.
In some form? So would that keep the necessary part of the military still there? If everything is Satyaj?
I think you're living in extreme optimism. That's like extreme chardi kala. Now, I do agree that if there's no more oppression upon the planet, that we may not need to have like a massive army. But it wouldn't be the end of Sikhi. It would be Satyug. Yeah. The point is though, is that what would you do? Somebody asked me once and they said, what if you got Khalsa Raj and what would you do? Why do you want it? What would you do? And I was like, well, wake up in the morning, do your part, listen to some kirtan, go out, stop the baddies, feed some poor people, come back home, do Rara Sahib kirtan, Salah, go to bed.
Opposite of GTA?
Yeah. Opposite of GTA. The point is that's exactly what we want. We just want to have a world free of oppression, free of people dying from hunger, with education, with the Naam as well. For us, Naam for us and Naam for others. People understand that they are here to achieve something spiritual, to live Guru Sahib's hukum, yeah, and just carry on. That's it. There's no need to go and make everybody Sikh, yeah. There's no need to go and I don't know what people might want, but we just want that. So yeah, but there will probably always be people that will try to stop that. So you'd always need some kind of trained army on hand in case, yeah. But Naam is what we're about. So if we haven't, the thing is that people think this political army. Just to be clear, you can't have this without Naam. It's not possible. Many people made this mistake. Most notably, those people known as communists. Yeah, they made a big mistake. They wanted all of this beautiful dream of people being happy and peaceful and everything else without any Naam. And it didn't happen, did it? What happened? Stalin killed more people, yeah, than you might ever have. Mao, murderer, yeah. Same with what happened after him. Communism failed big time. Why did it fail big time? Because they were interested. They were like, anything is okay as long as we achieve the aim, and that's not dharm, and that's not naam, that's not daya, that's not compassion. Go on, bro.
I think communism hasn't failed. Personally,
Hasn't failed.
I don't think it was implemented right.
It's a true communism one day.
You're living in a multipolar kind of multipolar power now. So you've got China on one side, which is communist.
Yeah.
Are they communist?
China is nowhere near communist. I've lived in China for 6 months. It's nowhere near. It's just authoritarian capitalism. That's all it is. It's nowhere near communism.
Shift in power is changing, so I don't think 100% democracy is the way either. So you kind of.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not advocating democracy in the slightest. I don't think democracy works. It's more. It's like if you study Plato. So I don't know if you it's probably unlikely to just pull this out. But when I did philosophy, we studied Plato. And Plato was like democracy is like second best, like from the bottom. Sorry, not second best, second worst. Because after democracy, you can just get authoritarianism straight after. You can just get a dictator who gets himself voted by just being very pandering to the popular vote. And you've got the Hitler type, right? So you need some kind of philosopher. That's what philosopher kings is what we need. Yeah. So for me, that's the Guru, philosopher kings. That's what Guru Sahib's trying to make. But on the other end, you know, you can't say China. There's no country in this world that you could say is communist. There's states that have come close to socialism. Yeah. So that democratic socialism exists in some places like Norway and places like that. They're a pretty good place to live. But reality-wise, you know, there's no such place. Communism failed because it just got rid of Naam. And Naam is what keeps people able to live without contentment. Like we talked before, the economic problem is scarcity, isn't it? Scarcity is a basic economic problem. So unlimited wants and limited resources causes scarcity. Now what if you limited your wants and shared the resources? That kills scarcity, isn't it? Now you've got abundance mentality. Share what we have and limit your wants. You can't limit your wants until you've got santok naam. Deho naam santokiya, utre man ki bhukh. Without naam, you cannot have santok, which is contentment. Without contentment, we will just want more and more and more. So you won't just give what you can and take what you need. You'll give as little as you can and take as much as you can. Yeah? So that's the reality. Without that contentment of naam, you won't get this. So, okay. The other thing is, how do you change a culture of slavery? Remember the culture at the time of Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji was a culture of slavery to the Mughal rule. They've been around for so many years, so many generations. How do we change people's mentality so they start thinking as rulers? Well, this is what Guru Sahib did, isn't it? They started to change their mentality slowly, taking part in battles, having an army, having Guru Sahib with the Kalgi, having that Akal Takht. They started to act like a king, and the Sikhs started to behave in a different way. And that culture changed over many, many generations, until at the end of it, you see Banda Singh Bahadur riding into Sarhand, destroying the Mughal rule, and sharing out all the land, like a Robin Hood. Yeah? Just sharing out the land and destroying the hierarchy. That happens with cultural change. And it has to start in little steps. You can't change culture like that. It takes time for that mentality to bed down in people's minds. For me, Akal Takht, to finish on Akal Takht, is a symbol of our sovereignty. Yeah, that's what it is. That we now are ruled by God. Yeah, Akal Takht means the throne of God, right? So we're ruled by God. Not ruled by some earthly power, but by the Akal himself. Akal Roop is Guruji. Yeah, Ik Baba Akal Roop. That's how Bhai Mardana Ji, Bhai Gurdas Ji describes Guru Nanak. So it's Guru Nanak Dev Ji's throne. And the final point, I think, is this. Justice. Let's see what time it is. So, who thinks a Sikhs or Sikh Panth, Akal Takht, should be able to decide what is justice? Let's put your hand up if you think we have the right to decide what is justice.
As a Sikh or as an individual?
No, as a Sikh Panth, do we have the right to decide what is justice?
I think the original Khalsa did.
Yeah, that's how they felt. Or they had the right, they did.
Yeah.
But we don't.
I think if we did.
So if we follow Gurmat, then we can decide what is justice, yeah? Yeah. Seems a lot. I have to say, I'm sorry to say this to you guys, but there's not a lot of confidence here in Sikhi. You know, why can't we decide what is justice for ourselves? Who else are we going to decide for us then? Justice got to be, if justice is to be had, if we can't decide it for ourselves, who shall we go to? The courts? Okay, our Guru, but where's the Guru? The Guru is Khalsa. Khalsa Panth is the Guru.
Can you explain more just about it?
Okay, we're not talking practical. Let's just move away from practicality for a little, because all of you guys, I know the Akal Takht has been taken over. I know that a lot of us don't have the faith in the current Khalsa, right? I agree with you. But on a theoretical basis, is a Khalsa able to decide what constitutes justice and then deliver that justice? Is that the Khalsa's right or not? Or does he have to then pander to a worldly power and go and ask the UN what justice is, or maybe sit down with the US government, the British government, and work out what would be adequate justice? Who gets to decide what is justice? Does the Khalsa decide it then? Shouldn't it? It used to, didn't it? It used to sit down, decide, right, what we're going to do next, what's adequate punishment for this person, and just deliver. Now, yeah, no, I agree. Current Khalsa, not living up to the standards. But a funny thing, but America decides what's American justice, isn't it? They decide, right, Bin Laden, he needs taking out. I don't care that he's in Pakistan and that it's a sovereign country. They still sent their helicopters in, delivered their justice, delivered by their own courts, signed by Obama himself. He decided what's justice, right? For the US. They did that. And did America have any, in Americans, did they say that's wrong? Most Americans were jubilant that justice was carried out. There seems to be nowadays, to me, a lot of lack of faith that Sikhs should be able to decide what justice and deliver that out. We seem to have this kind of need of this sign that says Sikhs want justice. We don't quite know what that justice will look like. We need someone to decide that for us. But we definitely do want justice.
Most America is brainwashed.
But fair enough. For this, I want to just imagine for 1 second, just do this little mental trick, a mental, not mind trick, mental image. Just close your eyes for a second and picture what you might see Guru Gobind Singh Ji on a horse. Okay? Just imagine, that's normally how I imagine my Guru Gobind Singh Ji is. On a horse, barge on his shoulder, kirpan in his hand, and he's got a sign in his hand. And now just imagine this sign says, Sikhs want justice. Does that ring true to you? No. Now, I want you to just imagine now the same thing, Guru Gobind Singh Ji on a horse, holding up a kirpan, in his hand, and now he's got another sign this time. This time the sign says, Sikhs give justice. Does that ring true to you guys? Yeah? So why are we holding up signs that say Sikhs want justice?
People don't have faith in their Guru. I heard someone say earlier that if we had a Guru here today, we do.
Yeah.
So,
if Guru Sahib were here today, that's a very common thing people say. If Guru Sahib was here today, yeah, Guru Sahib is here today. Yeah. And what is Guru Sahib today? Guru Granth and Guru Panth. Guru Granth and Guru Panth. The body and the light. So the Guru Panth needs to wake up and realize what his job and responsibility is. Isn't it? Because Guru Granth is here. All the Gurdwara, Guru Granth Sahib Ji is there waiting for the Guru Panth to step up. Well, that's an interesting conversation about politics. Next week, we're looking at Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Yeah? Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. What's inside them? How are they set up? How is it structured? Please try and make it. Try and get more people to come as well. It's our Guru. Our Guru is here. So let's look inside our Guru work, see what is in there. What are the Banis? How was it constructed? What's the history of Guru Granth Sahib Ji? How is it structured? Yeah, important topic. Thank you so very much. I'm sorry if I made any mistakes. I'm sure I must have made loads of mistakes. Singh's here to keep me in line if I make mistakes. Thank you very much. And do turn up next week, and Pulan Chokka Dekhna Bakhsh Ji. WhyGuru Ji Ka Khalsa, WhyGuru Ji Ki Fateh.